All right, welcome to Universe 3 and the results for your group. Cody is out ahead at 2.7 and Danielle and Amber are really close at 1.8 and 1.4. So this group is a lot closer than other groups for sure. If you look at spending, Cody spent a little bit more but made a little bit more. So, but you can see that Danielle and Cody are not very far from a profit perspective. And that happens because of how much you spend and kind of balancing that spending based on what you make. So that was definitely one of the things, and I'm assuming that there's some investment in some plants from Cody's perspective too. So let's take a look at market reports. And looking at market reports, let's see what we see here. Amber's got 3 different products that she is selling, so that adds some complexity to her supply chain, but definitely not, I don't think, hurting her. She's doing pretty solid in each one. Cody is the only one, well, Cody and Amber, the only 2 having Tech 2, so definitely has that Tech 2 market cornered at 84%, and Danielle at Tech 1 only, but doing really well in that Tech 1 market. So let's take a look at what's happening here. Danielle is not is a little priced a little bit high for Tech 1 in the US, so definitely could probably increase some of her US numbers here. That would be one thing to look at that seems just a little bit high. But then her Tech 1 numbers in Asia and in Europe relatively low comparatively speaking. So she's still probably selling some here, but only if some of the other areas are running out. And Dylan just way too high with this Tech 1. This looks okay and doing well here. So I think I would maybe bring this price just down a little bit, Dylan, so that it's more in comparison to other technologies that they have, and that'll increase your sales as well, because that Tech 4 is going to start picking up here, and you'll notice your sales increasing quite a bit. I would just watch this price a little, seems a little bit high. This one might even be a little low, depending on where you're at here. Number a little high on your Tech 2 in both areas. So I'd watch your Tech 2 prices, and your Tech 1 is kind of in the middle, so not really hurting or helping you here, but your Tech 1 here is a little bit high. So I'd watch your Tech 1 prices, and I'll see if I can help you with that here in a minute. So looking at the features that you guys have, Cody was 7 here, 3 for Tech 1, 1 for Tech 2 here, and then Dylan 2 features. Again, like I said, this is going to start to pick up here for you, so watch that because it'll happen pretty quickly. And Danielle, this is the one area that you can get a lot more sales in if you bring this price down, just to be a little bit more competitive. So looking here, it looks like Cody ran out of material and Great Team ran out of material as well. And Europe, you can see Cody ran out of product for Tech 1 again as well. So a little bit of Tech 1 running out, but not too much here. I'm going to go ahead and look at the production report to see where you guys are at. So plenty of room here to work on your utilization, lots of room here to work on your utilization. So if I come out here, none of you should have contract manufacturing. All of your manufacturing should be done in-house. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at some of your decisions just to show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to go to team area, and I'm going to go by Dylan first. So Dylan, let's just take a look at your demand and where we're at. So these demand numbers are way too high right now. So you don't have enough that you're selling right now to warrant 65%. You're saying that you're going to take 100% of the market share, that you're going to have as much market share as everybody else. This isn't supposed to equal 100%. You have 5 different teams. If it was evenly distributed, these would total 20%, not 100%. So these numbers have to come down quite a bit. So my recommendation here would be to look at maybe, shoot for 10%. But you have to actually create product in order to sell it, and you're not creating very much product right now based on what you had for outsourcing. So this is definitely a place to start, and a little bit more balance. So this is kind of how I would look at it from a growth perspective. These numbers here come from your market conditions. So you have to look at your market conditions and see what they're thinking. So it's 15, 20, and 40% is what they're thinking overall. So I might do 15. They're saying a big increase, so that would probably look a little bit better. If I read that correctly. Now I'm going to look and see that I don't have enough technology. So first of all, this costs way too much, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. So I've got Tech 4, Tech 2, Tech 4, Tech 2. So in my demand, I created demand for Tech 4, Tech 2, Tech 1 on here. So in Europe, you're still selling Tech 1. So you have to build Tech 1 if you're going to sell it. So my recommendation would be to switch this to Tech 2 and do Tech 2, Tech 4 everywhere if you don't want Tech 1. So that would be my first recommendation. So we didn't have any Tech 1 growth here. Then I would take a look and see that I have some unsatisfied demand here with Tech 2 and a little bit over in Tech 4. So Tech 4 is my first number, so I'm going to go ahead and make those 50%. Actually, maybe just keep that like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and increase this to 45. Let's see what that does. And I would stay right there. 35. Well, then let's do 50 here. That looks pretty good. So that is how I would do that, because otherwise you're not using all of you actually didn't sell anything here, so we need to correct that. Then I would go ahead and look at your research and design, and you have some features that you invested in but didn't get yet because you were short money here. So if you want to invest in that, you have to invest in whatever it says on the right hand side to actually get those features. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. And then next round, I don't know if you want Tech 3. It doesn't make any sense to me why you would even have Tech 3. So you have Tech 2 and Tech 4. I might just stick with that because you have Tech 1 hanging out there that you're not using. So have some sort of a plan. Are you doing Tech 1? You can only make 2 in each country. So you could sell 4, but you'd have to make all of your product and tech in the US for 2 techs and 2 totally different techs in Asia and ship them. And that gets pretty complicated. So I might just do this. Oh, this is just how I'm thinking about it. Then I'm going to go into marketing, and I need to adjust because I have some additional features here. This promotion, you're not promoting at all. You need to increase your promotion significantly here because that's not enough promotion. They don't even know your product is out there if you're not promoting it. And this is $241 for Tech 4. So I would definitely make this more like $500 to sell it. And this for Tech 2 is more like $360, something like that, so that you have at least a chance to sell it and a chance to make some money. But again, you need to market it and you need to have reasonable pricing. So this in Asia is 25. So we're looking, that's actually not a bad price there. And then in the US, or in Tech 2, that's a little bit better from the look. So $20, what are you promoting with $20? I don't even think you can get a Facebook ad with that. Okay, so it might be $2,000, but it's still not enough money. We need to add a little bit more money there. Marketing campaigns are pretty expensive, and spending, $10 million on a marketing campaign is probably not unheard of. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we spend a little bit money on that. This is 176. It's priced a little bit too high. I might do 350. Here, Tech 2, I'm going to do maybe 300. You know what, this one, because it's Tech 4, I might do 400. Now, if you don't have a lot of competition, you can keep this a little bit higher, but you still need it to be in the ballpark. Otherwise, people aren't going to spend the money on it. Again, I always do US, Europe, Asia. It's important to do that. That way you have product going everywhere. You have a lot of money in Asia, so I'd move some of that money over to the US. You can pay off that debt if you want. I wouldn't do it this round. Give you some cash on hand to do some of the things that you want to do, and bingo. On your decision checklist, one thing I want to point out is this isn't how much money you're going to make. This is your estimate based on how you estimated what you would sell. That means that if you estimated you're going to sell phones for $4,000 US, that's what it's going to say, hey, you're going to have really great profit. But if you don't sell any phones, you're not going to have any profit. So that is a problem. So Dylan, that's kind of my recommendation for you. Let's see what might be happening with Amber here. First, take a look at demand. So again, your demand, this is a little bit high for an estimate. So I would make sure that your demand looks a little bit closer to what you're selling. So in this case, because you don't want to make too much or think that you're going to sell too much. So, but we need to fix some of the issues that were happening. So even for the low ones, I'm just going to put 10% in there so that we can have some realistic sales measures. Again, take a look at your market conditions in the previous tab to see what they are. I think it was more like 15 this round. You don't have to put those numbers in, but it's a way to kind of get you to think about it. In your production tab, you can see that we now have a lot of outsourcing. You're doing Tech 1, Tech 2, and Tech 4. If I look at your demand, I'd look at Tech 4, US, and Asia, and you only have Tech 4 demand in Europe. So Europe has the Tech 4 demand. You're building it in the US. Okay, yep, I can kind of see that. Okay. It's always good to kind of look at that, especially when you have a little bit of extra. So right now your demand for Tech 4, we're estimating your demand for Tech 4 to be about 763 units. So that's what we're estimating, and that's what you need to make. So I would definitely pair that up with something that you're going to sell a little bit more of, which looks like Tech 1. So I'd build Tech 4 and Tech 1 together. I think that makes sense. Right now you're making about 760, actually 1,000. So you're making a little bit more with that 9%. I think that's okay. Your Tech 1, I'm trying to base that out a little bit. There. Okay, so we have a little bit more Tech 1 than we need. You can always cut this a little bit. Ideally, you want this to be 100%, but maybe we'll do better and you'll have a little more Tech 1 so you don't run out. The other thing I want to just take a look at is your investments. No more plants, okay? This is plenty of plants. You don't need any more plants. When we look at our estimate, this round our estimate is 2,700. This is we're definitely not there between demand and capacity. We got a lot of ways to go here. This is where we were last round, so we have a lot of ground to work on here. So Amber, then looking at your round 5, taking a look at your promotion, I definitely amp up your promotion 10 to 15,000. On average. If you have new things coming out, I tend to make it bigger so that you reach that. I'm looking at Tech 2 right now. It's a little bit high. I'm wondering why that's so high. Yeah, here's your problem. Okay, so this impacts your cost of your product because it's a transfer rate and you're increasing what it looks like the cost of your product to be. So we don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and go back to marketing. And the US, it's not going to have much of an impact on. Your costs are really high because you have a lot of facilities right now. So I would make those adjustments, I think, right now. This is just a huge unit cost for that Tech 2. All right. This should help us a little bit. See, now you have 18,000 in promotion here and 4,000 here. I'm not sure why you would promote one greater than the other unless you have some new things coming out. So 10, 15,000, you could do 18,000. I just come up with a plan and be consistent with it. That. And then looking at Europe, this did not get updated, so make sure you update your features, and it might have just come in last round, so that's fine. This is Tech 4. Your unit cost for Tech 4 is so much cheaper than your Tech 2, which is kind of crazy to think about right now. So 292, right? I think you can do a little bit of a cut here, still make a decent amount of money, but you got to advertise that you have it. Again, your advertising costs are all over the board here. I don't know what your strategy is with advertising, but create a budget and go with it. My recommendation. Okay, so once you price yourself in here, you might run out this round, but it'll at least give you an idea. I'm not submitting this for any of you guys, but I just wanted to do that as a way for you just to kind of see what that might look like to help you guys out a little bit as we go through here. Again, if anybody else wants some additional help, please let me know. I'd be happy to create a video for you. If you need anything else, just let me know.